Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So I am here today with another questions and answers video. I like to make these once every 2-3 months. It's just a great way for me to answer a whole lot of your questions in a more personal way. Something that absolutely pains me about my YouTube channel is the fact I cannot reply to all of your wonderful messages. I know I always say this, but I love getting your beautiful messages and I appreciate you reaching out to me so much. It's just so hard for me to find time to reply to all of the messages. I read all of them and I try and reply to as many as I can, but it's just impossible to get back to everybody individually. So I thought, why not accumulate some of the questions that I've received over the last few months and answer them in this video. So I will be getting into that really soon, but first I would like to give a big thanks to today's sponsor, Yeedi. I've been kindly invited to test out another one of Yeedi's state-of-the-art vacuum mopping robots. The Yeedi Vac2 Pro is their latest model, which was launched in Germany earlier this year, and it's my favourite model yet because of its new improved mopping system. It moves back and forth and vibrates 5 times faster to deliver incredible stain removal results. The Vac2 Pro leaves my carpets and floors absolutely spotless. It's equipped with a strong 3000 PA suction power, allowing it to effortlessly suck up dirt and dust from carpet and thoroughly but gently remove spills and stains from hard floors. It has multiple intelligent sensors with 3D obstacle advanced technology, so it easily and effortlessly glides into corners and dodges objects from chairs to kids' toys. When a carpet is detected, Yeedi Vac2 Pro will steer away from your carpet in mopping mode and automatically increase suction power in vacuum mode to get the deepest clean possible. Powered by smart visual mapping, Yeedi identifies your rooms to map out your home layout, planning an efficient path for the whole floor coverage without missing any spots. The app is very well designed and allows you to customize your cleaning by setting vacuuming and water flow levels for different cleaning tasks. It has a large selection of options to suit your needs. Yeedi is currently having a huge Black Friday deal where you will receive 33% off the Yeedi Vac2 Pro. This deal is only available for a very limited time. I will leave a link for where you can get access to this deal in my description below. Okay guys, so let's get into the questions and answers. I will be looking down at my phone because this is where I have all of the questions. Also, please excuse my super old iPhone. It is ancient, but it is still working so well. And I thought, as long as my phone's working well, why should I replace it? So yeah, anyway. The first question is one that I have actually been asked a few times, and somebody reached out to me on Instagram and asked me, Antoinette, what do New Zealanders think of Germany? And I thought this was quite an interesting question. So, what do New Zealanders think of Germany? The truth is, most New Zealanders, the majority of New Zealanders, do not know a lot about Germany. Germany seems to be a really popular country for immigration within Europe, but not a lot of New Zealanders live in Germany. There is like a small group of us, but it's not a huge group. So when I'm in New Zealand and it happens to come up in a conversation that I live in Germany, the person I'm talking to always seems a little bit surprised. So their reaction will be something along the lines of, Germany? Okay, that's pretty random. And then there's sort of like this awkward silence because they're trying to think of something to say about Germany and they don't know what to say. And then they might start talking about how their uncle's brother's friend went to Oktoberfest 5 years ago and it was really fun. So the majority of New Zealanders do not know a lot about Germany, apart from the fact that Germans like to eat sausages and sauerkraut, and that Oktoberfest is in Germany, and of course World War II. So this is my chance to educate people a little bit about Germany, and honestly I was one of those New Zealanders. I did not know much at all about Germany before I moved there, or before I met Rob, and I became really interested in Germany and I started to learn about German culture, and I do not expect New Zealanders to know a lot. about Germany. But it is always very refreshing when you meet a New Zealander who is well travelled, they've spent some time in Germany and they know a little bit more about Germany other than sort of the stereotypical talking points. This was actually one of my main motivations for making this YouTube channel, to share my life in Germany with my friends and family back in New Zealand, because no one has any idea what life is like here, at least the people who have not been to Germany. For me, it's just a really great way to be able to talk about my life in Germany and share aspects of the German culture with my family and friends back in New Zealand, and then they start to become interested. And I know that a lot of my family and friends know so much more about Germany than they did, and they have so much more of an interest now that I have moved here. Okay guys, so next question. This is one that I received last week, but I get similar questions all the time. I have people even emailing me on my business email about this topic, like warning me, they're worried about me. Are you worried about Russia invading Germany? I'm not gonna lie, of course I'm worried about it. This is something that I think most people here have in the back of their mind, and I just have to hope and pray that it's not going to come to this. I'm not worried to the point where I'm going to pack up my family and sell our house and move to New Zealand. Of course it's a possibility that this could happen, but I cannot live in fear. It's absolutely devastating what's going on, and we are not immune from anything like this happening. I have to say I'm more worried about my husband's side of the family in Poland. I actually had a conversation with my father-in-law about this the other day. We often talk about this topic, and I don't want to talk too much about politics and all of the details, but it is a huge concern. Okay, so the next question I have received over and over again, and I think it is finally time I broke my silence on this topic and answered the question. Antoinette, did you ever receive your suitcase? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, when my family and I travelled back to New Zealand in August, on our way home, all of our luggage went missing, and it was like devastating. We just had everything in those suitcases. It was really disappointing, and I was just furious about it all. After a month and a half, I was the only one in the family that didn't have my luggage back, but I am so happy to report that a month and a half later, I received my suitcase on my doorstep. I could not believe it. I had literally given up hope. I truly did not think I would ever see all of my things again. I literally screamed. I was running around my house like an absolute lunatic. My kids were scared. Honestly, it was like all my Christmases had come at once. It was one of the best days of my life. I'm probably over-exaggerating a little bit there, but oh my gosh, I was so happy. I originally blamed Lufthansa for losing all of our suitcases. It was a little bit of a complicated situation. I've explained it in a previous video. I don't want to bore you with the whole story, but basically we were told that it was Lufthansa that was responsible for losing our suitcases, even though we travelled with Malaysian Air. The reason we travelled with Lufthansa is because we missed a connecting flight due to a delay, and Malaysian Air organised for us to go on a Lufthansa flight from London to Frankfurt. We normally would have been travelling from Kuala Lumpur to Frankfurt, and all of our luggage would have gone automatically through to Frankfurt with Malaysian Air, but because we missed that flight, they organised for us to go on a flight with Lufthansa. So apparently what happened is all of the luggage arrived in London, and Lufthansa were the ones that were responsible for getting the luggage to Frankfurt from London. So anyway, we were checking all of the updates every single day with the suitcases on the Lufthansa website, and we could track our suitcases. And so eventually all of the suitcases came back, which was incredible, except for mine. My suitcase status just was not updating at all. It was just like frozen pretty much. And you know, after a month and a half, I'd given up hope. And then suddenly I thought, do you know what? I'm going to contact Malaysian Air. And so I filled out a claim, like a lost luggage claim on Malaysian Air. I just filled out an online form, and the next day my suitcase arrived on my doorstep. I could not believe it. So I actually have no idea what happened. For my suitcase to have arrived so quickly after filling out that form, it must have already been in Frankfurt. So I don't know, something went wrong there, but the main thing is I got everything back. Oh my goodness, all of my winter clothes. It was starting to get really cold as well, and I barely had anything to wear. The only clothes I had to wear were just things I didn't really like, some of my older clothes, and a few new items that I had purchased. So to have all of my clothes and my shoes, my winter jackets, coats, all of that back was just like Christmas a million times over. Okay, so next question, and I get this question so often. I think I've probably answered this in a couple of Q&As, but I'm going to answer it again because I get this question all the time. When is your beautiful mum coming to visit you in Germany? She hasn't been for so long. I know she hasn't been here for so long. It's been like 3 years or more since she's been here. Due to the pandemic, it's been just almost impossible for her to make it over to Germany. Thankfully, I've only just seen her in New Zealand, which was amazing. But she is going to be booking to come to Germany within the next few weeks. She's planning on coming in April for 6 weeks, which is just going to be incredible. We cannot wait. She hasn't seen our new house yet, which is not new anymore. She was here when the house was put up, and then she went back to New Zealand, and then the pandemic hit and she wasn't able to come. So we are all just so excited. She said she will come the end of April for 6 weeks, and I think that will be a really great time to be in Germany. It'll be springtime, and I love Germany during springtime. The kids will be on school break for a little bit of that, and Rob will try and get some time off while mum is here, and we will do lots of fun things, and it's just going to be so wonderful. And hopefully when mum's here we'll be able to make a couple of videos together. I know that you guys just love that video that we made together where, you know, I interviewed mum about her thoughts on me living in Germany and her thoughts on Germany. Okay, so this is going to be the last question I will answer in this video. This one is pretty random, but it was just a really fun question, so I thought I would answer it. Antoinette, would you and your family consider moving to another country other than New Zealand and Germany? Actually, no. We probably would not live in another country. It just wouldn't make sense for us, honestly. People have asked me whether we would consider moving to Poland, because many of you know my husband is Polish. He was born in Poland and he speaks Polish. And yeah, I would not consider moving to Poland. It's definitely not a country that I could see myself living in. I love visiting Poland, but I just don't think there would be many prospects for us in Poland. As far as like the Polish language, it is such a hard language, and I can't imagine being able to grasp the Polish language, and my kids would have to learn Polish, and it just wouldn't make sense for us to move there. But you know, as I said, we love visiting, and yeah, moving back to New Zealand definitely a possibility in the future. But in saying that, if say my husband got a really amazing job opportunity in somewhere like the south of France or Croatia or somewhere like Italy, southern Italy, I don't know if we could turn that down. I think it would just be an amazing cultural experience to move to a country just for a year. But I have 3 children, and the reality is, you know, it probably would not work. So yeah, I don't know. Never say never. Okay guys, so I've come to the end of this video. I really enjoyed just sitting down and having a bit of a chat with you all. It's just a really great way for me to answer some of the questions, as I said, in a more personal way, because I love your feedback and your questions and your comments. Everyone who contacts me on Instagram, if I don't get a chance to reply, I appreciate your message so much, and one day I'm just going to sit down and just go through all of the messages that I haven't replied to, but I don't have the time currently. Also, I just wanted to remind you that Yeedi is currently having a huge Black Friday deal where you will receive 33% off the Yeedi VAC2 Pro. This deal is only available for a very limited time. I will leave a link for where you can get access to this deal in my description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I would love you to consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I know that so many of you who watch my videos are not actually subscribed. So if you would consider subscribing, that would mean so much to me. Feel free to connect with me on Instagram, and I will see you again really soon. Bye!